and this from Bangladesh. With anti-India narrative rising in Dhaka, that's after Osman Hadi's death. In the latest Osman Hadi's organization, Bangladesh, they are raising anti-India rhetoric. The pro-Hadi demonstrators have upped the ante, and the pro-Hadi group are saying now one of their crucial demands is cancel work permits of Indians in Bangladesh. Pro-Hadi group has also said take India to ICJ, that's the International Court of Justice at this point of time. And remember, all this at a time when Bangladesh continues to be on boil. Well, my colleague Ankit Tyagi is now joining me live from Bangladesh. Ankit, you're right there on ground zero. We've been seeing a slew of anti-India protests, and now the latest demand put forth by Osman Hadi's organization.
Well, the Shahbag intersection, which is just about 300 to 400 meters from where I am standing, this behind me is the Shahbag metro station. And if you go straight on this road, you will, about 300 meters ahead, you will hit the intersection where the protest, the Inqilab Mancha protests are taking place. They started on Friday, and it is the 5th day of their protests continuously at this intersection. And let me tell you that this has become the very epicenter of the sentiments against India. Sharif Osman Hadi of the Inqilab Mancha himself was very critical of India after Sheikh Hasina fled to Delhi, and Delhi gave her patronage, safety after the bloody revolution that took place here in 2024 August. Now, in the latest, they have presented 4 demands to the interim government under Mohammed Yunus. And the most surprising and the big one, which in fact is completely against India and once again plummets the relationship between India and Bangladesh, is cancelling of all work permits of Indians, those who are in Bangladesh. They also want India to be dragged to the International Court of Justice if the alleged killers of Hadi, which the Bangladesh police says 2 of them have fled to India. Indian authorities, BSF, police in various states and the MEA has completely rubbished these reports. Now this becomes the latest confrontation point. I was there earlier at the protest, and at that point of time there were anti-India slogans, anti-Delhi slogans. Government of India was targeted, Sheikh Hasina was targeted, and apart from raising slogan for justice of Osman Hadi, somehow freedom for Palestine and Kashmir also found its way to this very protest, which has now only become one of the epicenter for anti-India sentiments, which the Yunus government fails to check.
Right, Ankit, absolutely. Anti-India sentiment on the rise in Dhaka. Thanks very much for getting us the latest from ground zero there. That was my colleague Ankit Tyagi joining us live from Bangladesh. Well, staying on with all that's happening in Bangladesh right now, we've been telling you how there's been an increase in anti-India sentiment, and in the latest, at least 5 houses of a Hindu family were set on fire. That is in Dumritala village in the Muslim-dominated nation's Pirojpur district, in what is suspected to be a targeted attack on minorities. The incident occurred on December 28th, over a week after 29-year-old garment worker Deepu Chandra Das, who was a Hindu, was attacked by a mob, lynched, and his body set on fire over blasphemy allegations in Menmen Singh. That's on December 18th. Well, NDTV spoke to the Saha family over the phone from Dhaka as they continue to be in fear. They refused to come on record and just said that they don't know how the fire started, and the police are investigating the cause. Family members said that they were initially trapped inside as the doors had been locked from outside when they woke up to fire in the early hours. And well, my colleague Ankit Tyagi has sent us this report from Bangladesh on this story. Take a look.
Well, this is, live and exclusive information which is coming to you from Dhaka, where just about 250 kilometers from where I'm standing in the capital is Pirojpur district, where the residents of the Saha family the family head's name, of course, Kanti Sahab. Their house was allegedly put on fire on the night, in fact, the early morning of 27th of December.
All right, amid growing turmoil in Dhaka, the student-led party, we're talking about the National Citizen Party, has now allied with the Jamaat-e-Islami in the upcoming polls. That's next year, in the month of February. An alliance that's between NCP and Jamaat-e-Islami is causing fractures within the party. That's within the NCP. In fact, the main student leader of last year's August 5th uprising, that toppled the then Hasina-led government in Bangladesh. We're talking about Mahfouz Alam, who was one of the torchbearers of NCP, on Sunday distanced himself from the NCP party, rather banner over this move. NDTV continues to track all the latest, and my colleague Ankit Tyagi brings you this special report from Dhaka's Shahbag, where as Inqilab Mancha demonstrators continue the demand for justice. Take a look.
The fifth day of the protest here at the Shahbag intersection here in Dhaka, and what you keep hearing is Delhi na Dhaka, Dhaka, Dhaka. A lot of anti-India sentiments I heard from freedom to Kashmir to the things about government of India, Sheikh Hasina, and also Delhi to Dhaka. This continues to be the trend. The entire movement here, even right now, you would see Delhi na Dhaka, 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 calls behind me where this protest is at this moment at the Shahbag intersection. And this is, at this moment, fanning a lot of anti-India sentiments across. This is the big problem that goes unchecked, and which, in fact, is at this moment, in this key protest, in this key demonstration, you see not only does this slide of Dhaka, of Bangladesh towards extremism, but also rising anti-India sentiments here in Dhaka. With my colleague Bombay Ankit Tyagi, NDTV.
All right, so we've been telling you, getting you all reports on what's happening on ground in Dhaka right now. These are the visuals of the Inqilab Mancha demonstrating there. But now let's tell you the division in NCP over its alliance with Jamaat-e-Islami. Number one, NCP alliance with Jamaat-e-Islami ahead of polls which are set to take place in the month of February. Then NCP alliance with Jamaat-e-Islami, we'll tell you why there's fractions within the NCP, because NCP formed by leaders of July 2024 uprising, which led to the ouster of former Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina and her government. While we're talking about the fractions and the within the NCP, first up, Mahfouz Alam. He is the student leader of NCP. He has rather distanced himself from NCP after its alliance with Jamaat-e-Islami. Well, there's growing disagreement within NCP leadership, primarily because of the ideological differences which comes when we compare NCP and Jamaat-e-Islami. And at least till now, 30 NCP members have written to the party chief their major concern over NCP alliance with Jamaat-e-Islami. Well, they are saying that the tie-up that's between NCP and Jamaat-e-Islami, it may harm NCP's long-term image and independence. So this was a lowdown as to why there's uproar and friction with the alliance between NCP and Jamaat-e-Islami. And let's tell you more about this, because NCP, the National Citizen Party, was born during the July uprising last year. And it is now battling with resignations and rebellion over a controversial alliance with Jamaat-e-Islami. Just a short while ago, I told you that there are 30 letters being sent to the NCP chief. Our next report telling you more.
The National Citizen Party, or NCP, emerged from the student-led July 2024 uprising that reshaped Bangladesh's politics. Backed by interim government chief Mohammad Yunus, the party positioned itself as a platform for new politics. Democratic, reformist and free of past baggage. But just months before the national elections, the NCP is now facing an internal revolt. At least 30 party members have formally opposed the leadership's move to align with the Jamaat-e-Islami, citing the party's controversial past and recent divisive actions. In a joint letter to NCP convener Nahid Islam, dissenting members say the alliance contradicts the party's ideology and the spirit of the July uprising. The memorandum points to Jamaat's role during the 1971 Liberation War, when it opposed Bangladesh's independence and allegedly collaborated with the Pakistan Army. The letter also accuses Jamaat's student wing, Chhatra Shibir, of intimidation, misinformation campaigns, and attempts to shift blame onto the NCP. The members warn that such an alliance risks alienating young voters and undermining public trust.
এই গণঅভ্যুত্থানটা হাসিনাকে সরিয়ে দেয়ার, হাসিনাকে মেরে ফেলা বা হাসিনাকে সরিয়ে দেওয়ারই একটা প্ল্যান ছিল। এখন না, আমি আরো অনেক আগে থেকেই জানি। যখন আমি জেনেছি তখন থেকে আমি পদত্যাগের চিন্তা করেছি এবং পদত্যাগ ফাইনালি করেছি।
Joint convener Tajnua Jabin has resigned and announced she will not contest the elections. She linked her decision to objections over Jamaat alliance and questioned the process of seat sharing, saying the party had shortlisted candidates but was now finalizing alliances without wider consultation. Senior Joint Member Secretary Tasneem Jara has resigned from her party post and will contest the polls as an independent from Dhaka 9. Reports suggest more NCP members may defect to the BNP or contest independently. Jamaat, banned during Sheikh Hasina's rule, returned to active politics after the ban was lifted under the interim government. For the NCP, the controversy raises a larger question. Can a party born from a mass uprising maintain its morals and political identity while navigating electoral compulsions? NDTV Bureau Report.